Hi, Sippy audience. Welcome again. Today, we are going to be taking you through another video in our Sippy 2020 features. Today, we have something that is not a feature, but is in fact a change that we are making to the software. We thought that the change is big enough that it would be important for us to let you know about it coming up. So the change is to H.323. It's in fact a feature that's going to be deprecated. Philip and Pavel are here with me today, and they are going to be taking you through the essentials of why we decided to deprecate H.323 as part of our core offering. So for now, if you've signed up for a sandbox contest, please be sure to pay attention to the slides that Philip is going to display so that you can answer the questions that are part of the quiz. I will leave you with Philip, and he'll explain everything. Go ahead, Philip.
Thanks, Fred. Thanks for joining us today. We wanted to spend a bit of time talking to you about H.323 and its future in our versions. The first question is, why was this change needed? H.323 in general has sort of shrunk in market use. So we're not seeing a whole lot of usage of H.323. Moreover, the H.323 implementation that we have in our soft switch relies on a number of third-party packages. And over the years, H.323 in our soft switch has proven to show a little bit more instability than what we would like. And the quality of H.323 has dropped significantly as a result. This might just be because of shifting market, where people are less interested in continuing development towards H.323, and it also sort of points to some of the older packages that we have included in our soft switch platform. And these packages are not something that we actively develop or are involved in their design or implementation. So it's not something that we could easily change in some third-party repository that we don't control. And in general, we've seen a larger shift to SIP protocols in favor of H.323. And as a result of that, this, I think, minimizes a lot of the risk that the large majority of our customers will experience with this change. As I've mentioned, we've seen a large shift away from H.323 protocols, and SIP protocols are sort of reigning supreme in terms of which protocol to use for voice over IP traffic. We did some assessments looking at some of our customer switches, and we noted very few of our customers actually have H.323 authentication rules or vendor connections that use this protocol. And when we even looked at those systems, we found no actual calls over the 24-hour period where we took a quick peek. So I think the number of calls that utilize H.323 are minimal at best. And to give you an idea of what will happen when it comes to your time to upgrade your system, first we'll check to see whether or not you even qualify for an upgrade. So you'll submit your request in, and then we'll run through a check. Are you supported? Are you qualified to get the next version? And then we'll check the actual system for a number of different requirements. One of them will include a step to check for active H.323 vendor connections and authentication rules. And if we find any, we'll let you know. So you will have an opportunity to touch base with your customers and partners to make corrections as needed to remove the H.323 connections that you do have. And once those are removed, you'll be able to move forward with the upgrade to Sippy Soft Switch 2020. And that's not to say that our older versions of Sippy will end support for H.323. If you are using the Sippy 5.x version, so that's 5.2, 5.1, and 5.0, you will still be able to use your H.323 vendor connections and authentication rules. Even 4.x versions and earlier will also still have those. If you are using that version of Sippy software, please do upgrade. There's a number of new features and improvements that we've made in the 5.x versions. So hopefully you've moved on and forward from there. So just to reiterate, the H.323 connections will no longer be supported in Sippy Soft Switch 2020 and going forward. So that sort of covers everything. Fred, back to you.
Thanks, Philip. So just on along the basis of stability, which is something that Philip mentioned, Pavel, can you tell me from a quality perspective how it was that you and the team determined that H.323 was something that was causing quality concerns for the overall performance or stability of the switch? Or if you can't name a specific example per se, perhaps you could tell us a little bit about what performance issues H.323 was in fact creating, which were related to stability.
So in relation to stability, the H.323 package that we are using has also some dependencies, and since that package is for real not supported for years, according to the history of changes. So that brings us in a situation when some older version of the package has to be kind of adopted for the newer version of the Sippy, newer operating systems, with satisfying all old requirements. And that being said, it increases the cost for us to keep supporting that particular package. But in terms of stability, so when customers are overusing the H.323 protocol in their calls, at least according to my lab tests, so that brings the package we are using down pretty soon. So the H.323 was replaced by SIP almost with everything for the functionality that was covered, and basically that made us think that H.323 could be just deprecated with and just placing more efforts on bringing better experience, new features, and better quality for SIP support.
Perfect. I think that definitely provides some background into our rationale for making the change away from H.323. I think that audience, as you've seen, if you've watched the last 3 videos, Sippy is quite concerned with making sure that the soft switch is very secure, very stable, and that the hardware you have that you whether you host the soft switch or whether we host the soft switch, that the hardware is able to perform at its best with the software that is put inside it. So I know that from working inside Sippy, it is obvious that the team makes great strides to making sure that the system is secure, stable, and that there are new features added that provide value to you and your business. So hopefully you've enjoyed watching these videos and that you've learned a lot as with the other videos. Today, H.323, the deprecation video is going to be part of the quiz for the sandbox contest if you've entered. So if you have, please refer back to the slides that Philip shared with us and be sure to answer the questions. In the future, you'll hopefully win the sandbox. For now, on behalf of Philip, Pavel, Sippy Software, and myself, Fred, we thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next time.